am going to repeat that first one. Let's repeat that first one and then we'll move on. Number one, again, there have been many amendments to the Constitution, and amendment is A, challenge, B, a criticism, C, an approval, D, a change. Jacob, I was repeating. Please ignore Jacob's comments from here. I didn't get you listening on the recording. Number two. Here we go. Roberto implied that he was unhappy. To imply is to A, whisper, B, swear, C, hint, D, proclaim. Number three. At the construction site, wearing a hard hat is mandatory. Mandatory means A, smart, B, required, C, recommended, D, cumbersome. Interestingly enough, with our modern-day mask mandates. Number four, do not contradict what she says. To contradict is to A, dispute, B, mimic, C, dread, D, believe. Number five, this part is designed to pivot. To pivot is to A, slide, B, rotate, C, bend, D, collapse. Oh boy. Number six, they were lucky that the sharp object did not perforate the leather. To perforate is to A, pierce, B, scratch, C, touch, D, mark. Number seven, Tanya emphasized the importance of teamwork. To emphasize is to A, discover, B, neglect, C, recall, D, stress. Turn the page, as Bob Caesar says. Did anybody get my friend's reference there? Number eight. They meandered through the town. To meander is to A, trudge, B, stumble, C, wander, D, march. Number 9. Her behavior was rational. Rational means A, disagreeable, B, predictable, C, logical, D, deceitful. Number 10. In college, she studied linguistics. Linguistics has to do with A, mathematics, B, history, C, government, D, speech. Now go to the next page. Look at the top of the page. You'll listen to some stories and paragraphs, then answer the questions about them. Look at the directions at the top of the page. Read them to yourself as I read them aloud. Directions. Listen carefully to each paragraph that's read to you. You may take notes on your scratch paper if you wish. Then listen to each question about the paragraph. Listen and read along in your booklet as the answer choices are read. Choose the best answer. You may use your notes to help you. Then mark the space for the answer you have chosen. Now look at the samples in the shaded box. Listen to the sample story. The familiar black and white skunk does not produce its terrible smell without warning. The skunk first signals that it is frightened by pointing its tail straight up and making its hair stand on end. It may then stomp its feet and even stand on its front legs. If the enemy does not run away, the skunk sprays its bad-smelling liquid. Any enemy that has been sprayed once by a skunk is likely to pay attention to the warning the next time. Look at sample B. This paragraph is mainly about how skunks A. find their food, B. give warnings, C. run away from danger, or D. take care of their young. Holton says, yes, B. give warnings. I'll find the second part for listening section on your answer document. Letter B has been marked. Now look at sample C. There is enough information in this paragraph to show that A skunk always sprays when it's scared. B, a skunk sprays only certain animals. C, an animal who meets a skunk might not be sprayed. D, most animals don't mind a skunk spray. Mark the space for your answer. Which answer did you choose? I believe in the real world, they probably won't even count these because it's your own opinion. Jordan says,
I say C.
C is what the book says is correct because the story said any enemy that has been sprayed once by a skunk is likely to pay attention to the warning the next time. And C is the letter for the correct answer. An animal who meets a skunk might not be sprayed. Are there any other questions? Now we will begin. Listen carefully to this story. There will be 3 questions about it. Jose slammed the door behind him and hollered, "What's going on out there?" He pulled the curtain aside and stared out the window. Streaks of red and pink danced on the horizon. Eerie green shapes shimmered across the sky. Mr. Ortega joined his son at the window. He explained that the spectacular light show Jose was observing was known as the Northern Lights. Mr. Ortega explained that in his entire lifetime, only once before had he observed such an outstanding and colorful display of Northern Lights. "Then I guess I'd better take some pictures of this," exclaimed Jose. Later, Jose and Mr. Ortega used an encyclopedia to discover exactly what makes Northern Lights. They learned that tiny bits of electricity from the sun bombard the Earth's atmosphere, electrifying the air and making each gas in the atmosphere glow a different color. Question 11. When Jose came inside the house, he probably felt A, lonely, B, afraid, C, angry, or D, tired. Number 12. Jose wanted to take pictures of the Northern Lights because A, he wanted to send them to a magazine, B, it had never happened before, C, he wanted to show his mother, or D, it was an unusual event. And number 13. Which words in the story tell what Northern Lights looked like? A, making each gas in the atmosphere. B, bombarded the Earth's atmosphere. C, electrifying the air. Or D, streaks of red and pink. Now turn the page. Listen to this paragraph. There will be 4 questions about it. This is my least favorite one to read, just so you know. Not for any particular reason. Here we go. Alvin Ailey grew up in Texas, surrounded by the sights and sounds of his African American culture. However, he had never seen dancers performing real African dances until he moved to Los Angeles. There, he saw a dance company perform traditional and modern African, Haitian, and Latin American dances. He loved the way they looked and sounded and tried to imitate them. When he was 18, Alvin began studying at Lester Horton's dance school. Before long, Alvin's teachers and classmates noticed his unique dancing style. His movements were amazingly fluid, giving the impression that his limbs were made of rubber. Soon, Alvin was creating his own dances. Alvin's teacher knew he had exceptional ability and wanted him to learn all he could about dance. He recommended that Alvin move to New York City, where he had the chance to be in a Broadway play. In New York, other dancers admired Alvin's special technique. Together with Alvin, they originated the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Audiences loved what they saw, and soon the group was touring the world with their modern dance. Alvin Ailey became famous throughout the world for the changes he brought to modern American dance. Today, students from near and far come to New York City to study ballet, modern dance, and tap dance at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Center. Question 14. According to the paragraph, Alvin Ailey's first dance teachers were impressed with his A, dedication, B, strength, C, style, or D, creativity. Number 15. The paragraph says that when Alvin danced, his limbs seemed to be made of rubber because he, A, could perform dances from many lands, B, was able to jump very high, C, could hold a difficult pose for a long time, or D, was extremely flexible and graceful. Number 16, Alvin Ailey moved to New York City because A, his parents had moved there, B, he had a chance to be in a play, C, he did not like Los Angeles, or D, he wanted to open a school. Number 17, if you want to know more about Alvin Ailey's influence on modern dance, the best thing to do is A, watch a traditional Haitian dance performance, B, visit Alvin Ailey's birthplace, C, read a book about American dance, or D, visit the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Listen to this paragraph. There will be 2, count them, 2 questions about it. Get ready for some great neighborhood fun. The 3rd Avenue Block Party will be held for our neighborhood next Saturday beginning at 10 o'clock a.m. There will be music, food, and games. Hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, and tacos will be sold all along the street. There will be games, races, and pony rides for the children. Anyone who would like to sing, play an instrument, or do a comedy act is invited to an open stage in front of Quick Food Mini Market. There will be wonderful music in the street and at night thanks to several neighborhood bands. All activities are free. Don't miss a minute of the fun. Number 18. All of these will be free of charge at the block party except A, food, B, music, C, entry, D, games. Number 19. Which information about the block party is not given in the announcement? A, what food will be offered? B, what time it begins? C, what activities there will be for children? D, who is sponsoring it? Listen to this story. There will be 4 questions about this bad boy. Hundreds of years ago, there was a brave king of Scotland named Robert Bruce. Bruce was bitterly unhappy because he and his people had been fighting England for their freedom and had lost battle after battle to Edward I. They had been driven out of their own country to an island off the coast of Ireland. Bruce crouched wearily in a shelter, wondering what to do. He happened to notice a spider in the corner of a hut, trying to spin a web. But at each attempt, a gust of wind burst through the window and knocked down the web. "Like mine, your efforts are in vain," the king said to the spider. But the spider did not give up. Instead, it made one more try and secured the web to a sturdy beam. This time, the wind did not knock it down. Bruce looked up, surprised. "I see I was wrong," he said. "The only thing to do now is to try again." Bruce returned to Scotland and led his soldiers to drive England out of their country. Because of their determination, they succeeded, and the king owed his victory to the lesson learned from a spider. Question number 20. You can tell from the story that Edward I was probably the king of A, Scotland, B, England, C, Ireland, or D, Wales. Number 21. When Bruce said the only thing to do now is to try again, he was referring to A, himself, B, the spider, C, the English soldiers, or D, the English people. Number 22. Bruce thought of himself as similar to A, the wind, B, the sturdy beam, C, the spider, or D, the web. Number 23. Which of these would best prepare the listener to understand this story? A, looking at a photograph of a spider. B, checking the definition of the word determination. C, looking at a map of England. Or D, watching a spider's work. Oh boy. Now go to the next page. Listen carefully to this paragraph. There will be 3 questions about this one. Most people have seen the copyright symbol that appears on a book or a CD. This symbol shows that the author of an original work has the right under United States law to reproduce, distribute, and perform the work. However, you may not know that you don't have to be an adult for your work to be protected. Even as a person under 18 years old, every story, song, or play you write in school or at home is legally protected by copyright laws. According to the Copyright Act of the United States, an original work is protected as soon as it is written. A copyright is valid for 50 years past the author's death and can be renewed beyond that by the author's heirs. If an author wishes, the work may be registered with the Copyright Office in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Registering gives an author several advantages. A work must be registered in order for the author to bring a lawsuit for violation of the copyright. Many authors like to have the date of copyright as a matter of public record and value the certificate of registration. Even if you don't register your work with the Copyright Office, you can still use the copyright symbol of the letter C in a circle along with the date and your name on the work as holder of the copyright. Not many young people are aware that everything they write is protected by United States law. 24. Who is the speaker of this paragraph addressing? A, students, B, professional writers, C, lawyers, or D, teachers? Number 25. The speaker's tone can be described as A, persuasive, B, apologetic, C, objective, or D, threatening. Number 26. One reason to register a copyright is so that the author of the work can A, hold the copyright for longer than 50 years, B, perform the work in public, C, sell the work as to a publisher, or D, bring a lawsuit for copyright violation. Now listen to this student's speech to the school board. Speech to the school board. There will be 4 questions about it. I am an 8th grader at Hamilton Middle School. I would like to offer my opinion about the proposed new after-school center. I would like to have such a place to go to after school. First of all, students could help each other with homework assignments so that when students got home later, they could have some free time to spend with their families. Also, it could provide valuable experience for older students. They could help younger students with their reading and other important skills. The center also could offer fun and interesting activities that many students don't have time for during the school day. For example, students might paint a mural, play in a band, or write a play. This center would be an asset to families in the entire community. It would be a safe and pleasant place for students to go when school ends in the afternoon. I hope this proposed center will become a reality. Question 27. What is the purpose of this speech? A, to argue against the proposal. B, to present a new idea. C, to inform the school board about a program. Or D, to express support for a plan. Number 28. Which of these is a fact, not an opinion in the speech? A, the center would provide valuable experience for other students. B, fun and interesting activities could be offered. C, I am an 8th grader at Hamilton Middle School. D, the center would be a safe and pleasant place. Number 29. The speaker's argument relies mainly on the benefit of the center to A, schools, B, students, C, parents, D, the school board. Number 30. The student is speaking to A, the school board, B, parent-teacher organization, C, city council, or D, student council? Now turn the page, listen to the story. There will be 3 questions about it. Alma invited her younger sisters, Lupe and Suni, to hike with her on the 4-mile trail that went over Eagle Peak, then back through Coldwater Canyon. Lupe brought along her fishing pole to try out in the North Fork of the Emerald River, which flowed through the canyon. When they reached the top of the ridge, the girls removed their backpacks and rested. As they got ready to resume their hike, Suni brushed her backpack against the rock where Alma had set her eyeglasses for a few moments while she stretched and rubbed her eyes. The glasses tumbled to a rock ledge far below. Everyone could see that the sheer wall of rock was much too steep to climb down. Lupe took out her fishing pole. She lowered the line and after several tries, snagged the eyeglasses with the hook. As she reeled them up the cliff, she announced that she had her first catch of the day. Number 31. This story is most like A mystery, B, tall tale, C, true story, or D, first-hand narrative. Number 32. Why did Alma take off her glasses? A, to fix the earpiece, B, to rest her eyes, C, to wipe the lenses clean, or D, to look at a distant peak. Number 33. What probably would have happened if Lupe had not brought her fishing pole? A, Suni would have climbed down to the ledge. B, the glasses would not have fallen over the cliff. C, the girls would not have reached the ridge. D, Alma would have to go back without her glasses. Okay, listen to this paragraph. There will be 3 questions about it. You may have thought about a career in healthcare. Therapy may offer the kind of healthcare career you want. 3 types of therapy: occupational, physical, and recreational offer some of the fastest growing career fields. Each type of therapy involves patient contact. Therapists in each of these areas work together to help patients reach their best possible health. Each plays a role in the recovery process. In addition, therapists play a role in developing patients' treatment programs. Physical therapists concentrate on whatever the patient's body needs. They design treatments to relieve pain and help patients regain use of injured areas. Treatments may use massage, exercise, heat, or many other remedies. Occupational therapists work toward helping people with almost any disability regain daily living and work skills. Recreational therapists, meanwhile, focus on maintaining patients' positive outlook. Using sports, arts and crafts, and other activities, they help individuals build confidence or simply enjoy themselves. Many therapists work in hospitals, schools, adult daycare facilities for injured or older people, and even in private practice. A growing appreciation of what therapy can do to help people has created new job opportunities. Question 34. Which words in the article show that therapists help patients' sense of well-being?
Just a reminder that we need a test.
Again, the question is, which words in the article show that therapists help patients' sense of well-being? A, fastest growing career fields. B, help individuals build confidence. C, many therapists work in hospitals. Or D, each type of therapy involves patient contact. Number 35, according to this article, physical therapists specialize in helping patients A, practice daily living skills, B, regain use of injured areas, C, learn new recreational skills, or D, find the right balance of medicines. Number 36. Which fact from the passage leads you to conclude that therapy can be a well-paying field? A, therapists are in high demand. B, therapists work long hours. C, therapists work in private practice. Or D, therapists have more training than doctors. And the final story, ladies and gentlemen, the final one. Listen to this paragraph. There will be 4 questions about it. Summertime is right around the corner. Instead of enduring another steamy, boring summer in the city, why not have the time of your life as a Camp Piney Woods junior counselor? Camp Piney Woods is hiring 30 local young people between the ages of 14 and 16 to work from June 20th through August 15th. We are looking for enthusiastic young people, eager and mature enough to be big brothers or big sisters to our 6 to 10-year-old campers Monday through Friday. On the weekends, you'll be free to enjoy crafts, hiking, swimming, and horseback riding. You'll get room, meals, transportation, plus a small salary. Interviews will be held Saturday, May 1st at the Cedarville Public Library. Call today to schedule your interview. Camp Piney Woods, located in the glorious foothills of the Cascade Mountains, is sponsored by Camping International, a not-for-profit organization. Question 37. Junior counselors will receive all of these except A, food, B, a small salary, C, special clothes, D, a place to live. Number 38. On the weekends, what will a junior counselor do? A, attend summer school. B, choose from various activities. C, go home. D, act as a big brother or big sister. Number 39. According to this ad, which of these qualities is most important for the job of junior counselor? A, honor student. B, athletic. C, responsible. D, creative. And number 40. How does the advertisement describe summer in the city? A, fun, exciting. B, busy, crowded. C, hot, glorious. D, steamy, boring. All right, children. You got about the 5 minutes. Go stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, get a drink. Well, not right now after 5 is over. Max, you need to leave at 2:30. Did you know that? Do some jumping jacks,
Why are they either super hot?
or Superman. Aston will be back. I'll be Bob. Gotta find someone. Victoria, you anti-stretching your legs or moving around? What's going on
I
here?
already did, I just took my stuff to my locker.
What do we need for this?
I already did the math and everything.
We got math procedure. Let's see what we need for that. Need something for it, math procedures at the beginning. Number two. Need scrap paper again, you still have it, right?
I mean,
Hit the backside, right? Scared with math procedures.